If they're not using a model or if they're going over photos real quick, I will literally take that 10 seconds to direct the model to get whatever shot I want. And so you can see I literally got 10 seconds to get it so I can get out of the way. Using a gimbal for stuff like that isn't the most convenient. But again, now all these little updates to the system is just making my job way faster and easier, and I can get out of the way and not be a douche in front of everyone. Alright guys, apologize if this video looks like crap. Christian, my DP, stole my transmitter. Now this video is for all of us solo, small team indie filmmakers who, you know, we're putting the hustle to make a buck, but also trying to create imagery that we can be proud of. With that comes gimbals. As we know, the DJI RS2 opened up a world of possibilities. It's just like a very well thought, put together gimbal. That said though, there's a lot of times where I still didn't want to use it because one, I hate gimbals. They just slow me down. I'm someone that likes to just like run a gun and get it done and kind of high energy on set. So, but with all that, I'm just gonna go through what those little features are and how them combined together is pretty much going to get me to start using a gimbal more and not be as lazy. Yeah. We all know about the auto unlocking feature, locking feature. I will go over that because I think it is important, but everyone on YouTube has already covered the damn thing so much, so let's just move forward. So there's a number of things, but there's little things that no one has really talked about, which I thought was super important. One of those things being the bag and one of the extra accessories that come with it that came with the original too, but again, you'll see. I don't have my RS2 because it actually took a fall on a music video shooting, so that's getting repaired. I should have it back like in a week. But the original bag had 2 zipper openings and you had to like fumble around and open up one side to get the gimbal part out and then open the other side for all the accessories. Sometimes you will forget that it was unzipped, so you flop it over and everything will fall out. It was a hot mess. I think the direction they were going was great at first, but again, now that we've had a couple of years of usage out of them, it's become an annoyance. So the new bag opens up in pretty much one zip, and then you just have this little strap that shows where all the accessories go. The other thing is with the RS2, they gave us this one arm where you could attach it to the side, and then you could take the tripod off and you could put it on the back so you could do like a briefcase handle. That was very annoying because every time you would have to unscrew this, put it back up there. If you're a skinny guy like me, your arm's wobbling, shaking, your muscles trembling. So I went and bought one of SmallRig's rear handle things. The annoying thing is though, it doesn't pack up that well. You either have to unscrew it all the way or just keep it like this. That was very annoying. Again, I like to try to pack as light as possible. I'm working out of one bag usually on a certain gig, so I'll go over that towards the end too. But the new one that comes with the RS3, this thing's super lightweight. It actually, I think some people might think it feels kind of cheap, but that's kind of just like a thing in our minds. The heavier it is, the more expensive it is. I don't mind the lightness, but this pretty much is similar to the SmallRig one. So just that thing alone is gonna save you some money on having to buy aftermarket parts. I'm gonna get to the actual gimbal now. So one thing that I was super excited about, which ends up not being super useful to me, but hopefully in the future it will be, is the record button. As you know, a lot of times we're doing this and then we're having to fumble around and try to click record on here. And it gets really annoying and I'm having to like push it against my stomach just to click record, readjust, get back into it. With this record button on here, pretty much your hand doesn't have to leave the gimbal. The dilemma with me is on the R5 it works, but on the R5C with the cinema menu, there's no like real Bluetooth support. So hopefully Canon updates the R5C to where we can have Bluetooth support because that will solve that issue for me. Next up, the mode switch. So before in the RS2, again, I wish I had mine to show you guys, you would have to go into the screen, you have to fumble around. It's not that big of an issue, but usually what would happen is once again, I'm having to readjust my arms, repivot the whole gimbal system just to go through the menu. Sometimes I would accidentally go to a different option. You go to one option, but it accidentally goes to like the one below it is on and it's going crazy. Then I'm looking like an amateur on set because people are staring at me and I don't look like I know what I'm doing. Look how much more faster that is, like clicking different modes, that fast. So I've had to do this, go through it, make sure it's landing on it, getting readjusted. So again, guys, all these little features just like kind of adding up to helping you be more productive on set. The more productive and simpler your workflow is, the more creative we can be. That's the whole point that we're doing this. We're all creatives, we're all artists, and just all that stuff gets in the way. It hurts our creativity. It just adds more stress on top of everything else we have to stress about. Now, the famous auto locks, people made such a freaking big deal. I was honestly getting a little bit annoyed as how every YouTuber started like, oh my God, look how amazing it is. But literally like 2 or 3 days after the RS3 was announced, I had to fly to New York for a gig. I'm on there on set and I'm there like fumbling around. I'm having to shut it off. And when I shut it off, I have to go in. I'm like trying to lock everything. Then I have to go set it down. And I don't know. It's just, for me, it makes you feel like a child having to fumble around with it. Like I'm playing with the toy. As you guys just saw, now having that auto lock feature, it just makes life easier. Now, I'll kind of talk about the kind of work I do just so you guys can see this will be productive for you. So usually when I'm on set and I'm fumbling around with the gimbal, I usually hate using gimbals, so I try to not use them, but they really do just add like a look if you know what you're doing. So I would say like right now, 75% of the stuff I shoot is for fashion brands. Usually I'm either shooting the stills, so they're like bigger campaigns and stuff, but I've been getting booked more to do video just because once a brand starts seeing you do video, they rather you do video because there's a million photographers and only a couple videographers, I guess. And so usually I'm having to fight with the photographer. I understand, I've been there where I've had video guys on set and before I'd be like, they're like wasting time, but video is becoming way more important these days. You see brands are putting way more focus on video to the point to where there's even brands with, with decent budgets. They're now hiring me just to come do video, and photos will sometimes be like the B asset on it. And so it's slowly changing. Video is becoming almost as equally as important to these brands as stills are. So I've learned to be a little bit aggressive to where if they're not using a model or if they're going over photos real quick, I will literally take that 10 seconds to direct the model to get whatever shot I want. And so you can see I literally got 10 seconds to get it so I can get out of the way. Using a gimbal for stuff like that isn't the most convenient. But again, now all these little updates to the system is just making my job way faster and easier, and I can get out of the way and not be a douche in front of everyone. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I just want to put my little 2 cents on there because, yeah, I think this is a pretty cool update. Peace.